gonna do this.
Okay, we're recording.
Hey, hi,
We
hello.
did it. Hi.
Yeah,
Howdy.
it's been a long day. Holy shit. Welcome to the Rotating Tap Podcast. I'm Corey David.
I'm Steve Vanderplug.
Yeah, and we've got a real fucking smorgasbord of people on the show today.
A real charcuterie.
Yeah, I think it's charcuterie,
Fancy.
if I'm being specific or not.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I think that
You
the
don't
standard for charcuterie is pretty low these days. Like plastic plate and like craft singles are okay. But
As long as they're cut into cute squares.
are you saying that they're too big to be cute? Like what
They're
if
too big to be charcuterie as the slice, I feel like.
Yeah, but what if they're folded?
Well, then
They
they will definitely break if you fold them.
Yeah, so. they're
Right,
not-
but
I
like-
guess how straight can you get that line? Use a knife, you know?
yeah,
Class it
yeah,
up.
okay, that's what your
Class
issue
it
is.
up.
Yeah. All right, well, as long as we all enjoy the finer things in life. Do us a favor, everybody. Just go around the table, introduce yourselves. We've got some of our favorite comedians on tonight. It's pretty exciting.
Hi, I'm Nick Dean, and I'm here too.
I'm Georgia Comstock.
I'm Shane Torres.
Wow. And we've got a big, happy
Super
family.
excited.
Well, I don't know what you want. What do you like?
Here.
When you want to start listing where I went to high school? Like,
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't.
Central.
Yeah, start giving us
Bear
some-
Creek. Actually, that comes up on this podcast a lot. It's my high school. It does come up a lot.
We all just got done doing a show together. It was
Yes, we
our first
did.
one up at Oscar Blues in Boulder. Yeah, what'd you guys think of the show?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all still very different, but I did have a lot of fun. They were great.
Yeah.
Staff was great. Good
It was
crowd.
kind of funny. It was a bit of an older crowd, but
They were a bit of
I
an
felt
older
like the
crowd.
oldest guy right in front loved it.
He was gross.
Nick was telling his
Yeah.
blowjob
Yeah, he was
joke,
into
dude,
it.
and
Yeah.
he was straight up like, yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
he was just like, yeah, talking about getting sucked.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Why is it always if the gentleman is into it and then his wife like is not? It's usually one or the other. But I think the guy can sheepishly just kind of laugh about stuff, and then she's like, "I'm embarrassed. I don't think I could laugh." At
I
this."
don't know. I think sometimes the couples are usually like in it together.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
good.
felt like they laughed, and I think those were their
The ones
kids
that are gonna
on
make
the
it
other
right
side of the
together.
table.
They
That's
were?
so gross.
Yeah, those are, yeah.
Who mentioned that they?
Yeah, I think
someone
they were the-
smoked pot with them.
Oh, because I was like, who smokes weed
Yeah.
with your mom? And she was like, I do, and her mom was right there, and then her mom was like, no.
Yeah.
It's because she still goes to church on Sunday.
Yeah, she's like, we can't be spilling our business.
What's a better way to fucking talk to God than smoking a little pot?
I
Going
don't
to
know.
Oscar
Maybe
Blues
on your
Cup.
knees in a church.
Yeah.
The tra-
I know for a fact
The
that God
traditional
loves
way, missionary, Nick, is I think the appropriate
Good
way.
point.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what they call that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fun.
right.
Yeah, so we.
What are you doing? This is the beer podcast, not the drugs podcast.
Well, actually,
I'm still trying beers. Also,
You should make a pipe out of a beer can, and then it's like on theme.
yeah. Then at that point, we're really mixing everything that we really.
I definitely done it from a
Indeed.
soda can, but I think taking it to a beer can is like a whole new level of.
I don't think it is. Actually, I think you were drawing. This is like the craft singles thing.
We gotta-
You're really drawing.
We
Yeah,
got a
the craft
growler
singles
here.
is
Let's make a can out of a growler.
Well, what's actually the kookiest
I mean,
thing that
think
you
about
guys
how
have
high
ever
you
made?
get filling that with smoke. That'd be, a great pipe.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
a real.
I
We got a
fucking-
real bong. here.
Yeah.
This is a real.
Yeah,
bong.
that's I like.
This actually is
pulling
like a
a
bong.
bong
That's
out of it.
That's got gravity
Yeah.
bung like written all
We
over
would
it.
make gravity bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
the thing? Was that like?
Well, yeah, like we would like, but like we, it got to be like dumb where it was like the bigger it is, the better it is. Like, and then like we'd fill the bathtub up and then cut like a, like a, you know, like a fucking water jug in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
like
you
one
put-
of those like
Yeah.
dispenser jugs.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And then people would just be like, well, you know, and you're like, well, this is gross, and now I can't shower. Like, you know, like it was.
We're gonna drain the bathtub.
It was so.
Drinking the
trashy.
bong water is bad enough. When you drink the bong water, bad.
What?
Oh.
The tub bong water would be pretty bad.
Yeah, it was just like little asshole sweats and stuff.
Were
You drink
you,
bong water?
I don't
At
think I
this
have-
table is
you know, are you
bong
drinking
water.
bathtub water?
You drink bong water?
If you've
Live.
smoked, if you've
Hell
smoked
yeah.
bongs enough times and you're a dumb teenager, you've definitely taken a sip at least of some bong.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
but like, not like.
It wasn't like a thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
wouldn't
saying
say
no.
that I've like
It's,
drank
it's not like
it,
a
though.
beer back with a whiskey shot.
I
You
did-
know,
I-
like
Actually, if you
Right.
mix it with pickle juice, it's quite delightful.
what?
Bong water.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? It's the pickle juice that's good.
Kind of just dirty pickle juice.
Yeah.
100%.
Was that the
Dirty
case when
pickle juice also pretty gross.
That was my nickname in high school.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, he's in there on my check out all day.
Which is a pretty good one, if we're gonna go ahead and say it. We're gonna go ahead and say it. Well, what is it? Jameson had that thing going for a while. They had like a pickleback.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is it,
pickleback's
I don't like
but
it.
to his point,
Really?
No.
isn't it the pickle juice that's good and the shot is terrible?
I love pickles. They're like one of my top 5 favorite foods.
Really?
Top
Yeah.
5.
Top
Wow.
5.
What are
I
the
love
other
pickles.
4?
I don't know. I'd have to hear them to really pick them out.
But she knew in her heart of hearts that
Yeah.
pickles.
I mean, I love a pickle. I had a
Definitely
pickle.
pickles is on it. I buy it almost like pickled chips and stuff are my favorite. I just love the dill pickle, and I buy jars of pickle and just eat them on the
Yo, pro tip: dill pickle sunflower seeds mixed with black pepper sunflower seeds.
Oh, that does sound good.
Wow,
That does-
you're really stuck.
Yeah, I love
really,
the dill pickle
black
seeds.
pepper with pickle is like a really good flavor on
Yeah.
pretty much anything. Like I had a sandwich with that and stuff. It's
That is good.
It's good. They're a good
We
combo.
we stopped when we left Steamboat Springs this morning. We stopped and got bagels, and the woman at the bagel shop was like, "Do you want a pickle?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love pickles." And she was like, "We make our own." It was like really bubbly and cute, and there was like kind of a shitty pickle.
Dude, honestly, I'm like sketched by people that like I make my own because I don't feel like they're sour enough. Like the.
I don't like. They're always a little more subtle than I want them to be.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
agree.
and so I mean, I'm sure that means that I do not have good taste in pickles,
Right.
but like I want a snap.
I want them to be sour and crunchy.
Yeah, I want some
Yeah,
tart,
yeah,
like kind of like a
yeah.
kimchi kind of flavor to it almost, where you
Yeah.
got that like real pickle fermented flavor.
Yeah, I want it to
Yeah.
be like strong.
Welcome to the Rotating Tap Charcuterie Podcast.
Yes,
Actually,
Listen to my follow-up podcast, Hot Pickles.
I tried.
That was my nickname in high school.
Coming up, we're
Because I
gonna.
would just put them under my arms,
Yeah.
and then I would like be like, "Who wants a hottie?"
Gets them every
Get
time.
in there.
I don't wear deodorant. I use
don't-
pickles.
I use a sweaty little pickle.
This one's been between my thighs.
You guys want to try this?
I got a little.
Is
cup.
it a dark?
Yeah, here, I'll drink out of
It's
it.
an
I'm not a
Imperial
huge
Stout.
fan. I mean, I don't think I'll. I know it's a nice beer, but I don't think I'll appreciate
Just
it.
have a taste of it anyway.
Whoa.
Probably drink all of
Give me
it.
a little kiss.
Coming up,
Just a little smack on
That's
the
great.
lips. For
we've
you.
got Evergreen Brewing coming up on
Jesus.
the podcast.
It's like balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, it's almost
Wow,
like.
I do not like the taste of that, but it smells really good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for anybody that
Well,
wants
that's a
to,
lot.
this is
It's a lot.
Weldworks Brewing Vanilla Medianoche Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Thank you, Skip, for hooking us up with this one.
It's. I mean, it smells great.
It's
it
too
really does.
much.
It does. It smells like good breakfast.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you didn't have to drink it.
It's a
phenomenal.
breakfast
Five
beer.
out of five.
But it's just
It's a
a-
breakfast beer for sure.
Yeah, this is just not like
Yeah.
a flavor. It's just too dark for me. But like, I
almost
do
feel
think
like
somebody
that
who
mixed with
likes
some
this kind of beer
coffee.
would probably really enjoy this because it doesn't.
I'll
It
It
tastes
tastes
a
like
little-
a good version of something I don't
It
like.
is tasting a little soy saucy.
I'll say
I
right-
will
Yeah.
kind of say that. Did you get a little bit? You get a little bit of like soy sauce kind of
I
flavor.
know. I got a lot of like caramelly and syrupy.
Well, that's for sure.
How
So
strong is it?
this
What if you mix it
Pretty
with?
strong.
If you put that in coffee, I feel like
Just-
it'd be
I was
good.
just gonna say like
Oh,
coffee
if you
right
put-
before
if
you
you
go
put-
catfish.
Yeah,
or
ooh, an
something, like,
iced
right-
coffee
like
or
kinda-
something.
If you,
That'd be
oh
good.
yeah, if you put that like, and then you like you mix it
Cut
up,
it.
and then
Instead of, like,
you
a
just don't
Baileys.
have you don't have the beer in it, and then you just have coffee.
Yeah.
it's that good.
Yeah.
So
It does taste. It does have like a little bit of an Irish creamy kind of.
Well,
Yeah, I would-
so
I
this
would mix that
guy
with coffee.
is Vanilla Medianoche starts with a blend of Medianoche batches aged for 18 months. Medianoche is like the Imperial Stout series they do. And then it's aged for 18 months in Willet bourbon barrels after barrel
I
aging.
do.
the
That's
beer
my favorite bourbon.
was conditioned on a carefully curated blend of vanilla beans, including 5 different origins and 2 different species. So they put a lot of thought into this stuff.
Yeah. What do you think? You like this kind of beer?
I will say I give the bottle a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would buy it just because of the bottle.
For style points.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'd take that to a party and be like, look at this thing I brought.
You can keep the bottle after the podcast. Yeah, have the bottle. It's
I get-
I mean, being appealing to the eyes and make me want to buy it, I feel like it's half the battle,
Yeah, I will totally reward people, whether it's beer, food, anything else. If it's a toss-up between 2 things, I
Yeah.
will give the kudos to the marketing.
The cool wine
Yeah,
bottle
I
always
mean,
gets
I
it.
buy on that. Like, I buy on that stuff a lot. I used to tell this story. Like, I didn't think marketing worked on me that much, and then I was like in a Jack in a Box, and the kid behind the counter was wearing a Dr. Pepper hat, and he was like, "Would you like something to?" And I was like, "I'll have a Dr. Pepper." like, I was like, "What?" And he was like,
Like blinded by
Yeah.
a Dr. Pepper?
"I was like, it worked." You know, like.
Yeah, marketing definitely works on me, and if it's colors I like, I'll go towards it. If it's like a cool...
Yeah, it all works. I just didn't realize how much of it like I was
it
susceptible
seeps
to.
in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Well, it's right when it doesn't work until you're face down the barrel of like that decision of your torn, and you're like, all right, I need to give. There has to be a tiebreaker here.
Yeah, I guess that is probably one of the ways it's most effective.
Yeah.
Is that it is like an impulse decision.
I think it's mostly because I know enough about marketing at this point that I'm like, I'm gonna give these guys my money because I can tell that they put a lot of effort into this.
Dude, this water jug, I got advertised on Instagram maybe like 5 times before I bought
Who
one.
was that advertised to?
So it's like it works.
Who do you think their target?
Did you
demo is?
Google?
I
That
buy
monster-
I buy a lot of water bottles, and so I just feel like it's on my.
I bought these.
I spend all my life.
That's weird.
She loses a lot of water.
Okay,
bottles
that's
as
what you
well.
meant.
But then I find them
You have a
later.
studio apartment. Where are they going?
Dude, I don't know. She'll
I
just
get
show
drunk.
that
I
one
get
on
drunk
us.
at bars. And
Oh,
then
me
just
too,
leave stuff
yeah.
places.
That seems to be the best
I used
place
to
to
do
do
that.
it.
I used to do that.
Funny
And
how
it just
that
gets
happens.
left behind.
I do think it's like with the value of a logo, a recognizable logo is insane.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Dr Pepper.
Yeah.
So with this beer, Tamisha,
Like
because I know you
Dr.
asked,
Pepper.
you
Yeah.
asked the question.
I'm just trying to keep it on somewhat of the premise of the podcast.
Don't worry, we can handle it.
There's no real
Okay.
premise. The premise of this podcast is mushrooms. We figured out at this point.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot. But the thing, so with this one, I don't necessarily think that the flavors blend together very well. They just seem kind of like one thing's kind of standing out over the other. It doesn't really have a lot of harmony to it. So it would be nice if all the flavors kind of seamlessly came together a little bit more. But
What do you think stands out the most?
I mean the vanilla for sure.
Yeah, I
but
feel
it's-
like the vanilla is the strongest.
But I feel like it's not out of place. It covers up everything else.
Yeah.
So that's all you really taste is vanilla bean.
I get
It's
some
got a lot
maple.
of viscous.
I get some maple. It's very viscous. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a good note, though, I've had a lot of the beers that are in the whiskey barrels, and they're usually like, "Oh, what are we fucking doing?" And this one is actually not very whiskey. Like,
Yeah, you don't
it
get a
didn't
lot of like,
punch
whiskey
me.
flavor.
Smooth.
Well, sometimes you'll actually, depending on how many times you use a barrel, you don't even really get
Yeah,
any whiskey flavor anymore. You can only use a whiskey barrel like a couple times
Yeah,
before it
before you
stops
like,
actually
you're like
imparting all
producing
those
that.
flavors.
Yeah.
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 Do you think people are ever just saying that they're putting them in whiskey barrels?
Yeah.
They're just like, we whiskey barreled it.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
a barrel.
How would you get that taste?
Yeah, and it's just a regular barrel.
Oh no, I think it's always a whiskey barrel, right? Because it's cheaper to buy a whiskey barrel than a brand new barrel.
No, they just put particles of wood in every bottle. Is the key.
I was like, what?
Like Gold Slugger. It's like Gold Slugger. It'll splinter your
No
throat.
shit.
Like,
Yeah. Gets
You
you
think
drunk.
it
I
would
don't know
be
if it matters what
cheaper?
kind of wood they use to make the barrel too.
It does.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
watched a whole internet video of them making barrels. It was very interesting.
I bet.
I
It
couldn't
sounds-
believe it.
I mean, this is a beer podcast, but I know a little bit about wine.
It's a charcuterie
and,
podcast.
It's a shark. So perfect.
The
for
mushroom
this, yeah.
podcast.
But like the cork itself for like wine is like super important.
Yeah.
Like that's one of like if like the sommeliers will like look at the cork as one of the 5 things they check. The cork is that important. Like it's crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, oxidation is oxygen's the first like enemy of beer, wine, anything like that. So as soon as you break that seal and oxygen's just pumping into the bottle, it's ruined. So when I said that this kind of tasted like soy sauce a little bit, one of the first characteristics that you'll notice about when too much oxygen gets into the beer is it starts to taste a little soy. And then the other one would be if it's a really hoppy beer, it kind of starts to taste like cardboard or stale graham crackers.
And that's because air
Really?
got in it?
Yeah, it's all from oxidation. So if something starts to age a little too long, like it's a little too old,
So have
much
you had
oxygen,
that bottle
that's it.
too long?
Well, we didn't have. I mean, they gave it to us as a gift. So shout out for you guys. But I don't.
Thanks for the old bottle.
Thanks for the old beer.
Stank ass old bottle.
It's not that old. It's probably like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it's only 4 or 5 months, but
Okay.
I don't know when they actually bottled this run, so they might have given us one that is a little bit older. But
Yeah.
It's aged for 18 months.
Right.
Well, I think the real point here in Bombers Club is talking about eating shit as a comedian.
yeah, so
Yeah.
this is a bomber. That was kind of the point of opening it. But thought you
A
guys
bomber?
Thought you guys might want to know.
That's a bomber? I don't
Yeah, that's
know.
what
It's
it's
a
called.
size.
It's called
Yeah,
a bomber.
it's a size.
the bottle.
Ah.
Oh.
It's a bomber. Yeah, it's not a fucking airplane. It is a a bottle.
Yeah, we're holding this podcast together with strings. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just tying loose premises.
I think you're giving yourself a little
pretty much
too
so.
much credit there.
Yeah, great.
A bomb. I didn't know that was called a bomber. That's
Yeah, like a
interesting.
22 to 24 ounce bottle is called a bomber.
Why are they called a bomber?
It's just like
Because you're
industry
bomb,
terminology.
bro. Yeah.
That-
Probably,
Yeah, you're gonna
probably
drop
because
the
this
ball
is
on
the
yourself.
preferred size for a Molotov cocktail. If I'm
Alright.
looking at it,
It kind of, I guess.
Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
the Irish Republican Army is the one that actually named the bottle size.
We should thank them.
So the point of the Bombers Club is to not only have like a really great beer that we can all share, but it's to talk about some stuff that we weren't necessarily proud of or that we
We
can't.
don't love it.
Yeah, we don't necessarily love it. What times that we
But it
bombed on
happens.
stage. Yeah. So we can have a good beer while we reminisce about all that kind of shit. So
I
if
can't
anybody
believe you
wants
guys
to
keep
start.
bombs in your head. I feel like I've blocked every single one of my bombs ever out of my mind.
I feel like there's always one or
And
two.
I'm like,
that just
I've never
kinda
bombed.
And then you
No.
go online and you post, I've never bombed, and then it stays with you.
I would
Yeah.
never post that either. I would just be like, of course I have.
But
I just can't think of it.
for people that don't know for people that don't necessarily know, sometimes when you're on stage and you're bombing really hard, it feels like you're a deer in headlights. You don't really know what to do. You kind of forget your words and stuff like that. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, but one that you can't avoid if you've done stand-up comedy before. I don't know, Nick, you've been on the podcast before.
Yeah, I gave my best one.
Yeah, I think you
before.
can.
Which one did you do?
I mean, just
Just a quick recap.
recap. I didn't know I was bombing, but I recorded it, and I was like, oh, I crushed. And then when I went to go listen, someone was making fun of me in the crowd, and I recorded it.
Like the camera was like
Yeah.
right next to you.
Did you still have the recording?
I don't. I know. We said the same thing. I was like, I wish I did. I did. But it was so many iPhones ago. I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
care.
yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
like first year.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Georgia, what do you got?
All right. Well, I don't know if this is my worst one because truly I can just push those things out of my mind. But I remember when I first started comedy and I was doing basically the same set. I went to open mics and I saw other people do that, and so I'm like, okay, so you're like sort of just doing the same thing over and over. And I do it, and it had been going pretty well actually, like my first week of comedy or so. And so I am at this open mic, and there's basically a bunch of people who have already seen me do this set. And then there's like these two girls who do comedy that I've never met in the front row. And so I sort of start this set that I have been doing, I mean, this whole like week and a half or whatever that everybody's seen because there's nobody else at these open mics. And I say one of them, and nobody makes any noise, and then one of the girls in the front just goes, I don't get it. And that kind of made people laugh, and I was like, okay. And then it sort of just followed like that the whole thing, and she sort of kept saying stuff like that, which, you know what? Rude, okay? Like, you are also a comic, I'm a female comic. I was like, thinking back, I get so mad about it, but yeah, so it's kind of like
You
that.
get
and
heckled by
she-
another comedian. That's
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And being heckled, like, okay, I don't get it.
But it's all right. So
What?
there are. I guess it totally depends on the show. But there's times where either somebody that's on stage will call out somebody else that's off stage, and then you can just chime in with like a quick kind of thing, and you're not really heckling, but it's just like, oh fuck you, Georgia, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can kind of like keep it going. You're not trying to distract from the show.
Yeah.
How
You
do
usually
guys-
do that with your friends, though, don't you think?
Right, that's
like,
what I'm
I
saying.
do that with like my friends.
Totally depends on the show. If it's like a rockin'
Right,
show, you do
yeah.
that with your friends, kind of thing. Like, what do your guys take on that? Like, is it ever?
I do it to everybody as much as I can.
Right. Is it ever appropriate? Like, so do you guys feel like that's appropriate ever, or do you just let?
To throw a
There's
shot.
occasions.
Well, not
Probably
like, but
a
not unprovoked. You know what I mean? Just kind of if they're maybe either call you out or
I don't know. Like, I think you try to be gracious, but like, if I don't like them or something, I'll just go at them. Like,
At a show?
if it's somebody, if I get called out, like if I'm
Yeah,
not doing it,
You're off
if I'm
stage,
just
they're on stage.
and they say something or whatever. Like this summer, I was walking to a show because they were doing a lot of outdoor shows in the parks, and I was walking by. There was an open mic happening in the park in Central Park, and I didn't know any of the comics that were at, but I was walking by and like, she was like, this woman was like, "Are you a comic?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We're doing an open mic," and I was like, "Oh, I have to go to a show," and she was like, "Well, just stay here and do my mic. And like I was like, no. And then I could tell all the people that there were like 5 or 6 guys there, and they all knew who I was. Like I could just tell by the way they were looking at me. And I was like, I'm just gonna go, but you're kind of mean. Like, and then I was.
Did you say it as like?
I was just kind of like, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But honest.
Yeah, but I was like, but you're being kind of mean. Like I wouldn't do comedy with you.
Yeah,
like, because
right.
I don't think you're doing it right. Even in this 3 minutes of talking to you, I think you're awful. So I don't know.
I felt
hate everyone.
strange about doing that.
Thanks for doing the podcast.
You know what I mean? Not everyone. I like you guys. You're fine. You're whatever.
For the next 45 minutes, we're buddies.
Yeah, Corey's cool.
That's all I've been wanting to hear since Thursday.
Yeah.
So, what's the difference?
You earned it, pal.
What's the difference really between like how can you even compete in a park setting with like if you're doing an open mic in a park and there's Shakespeare in the park happening like 100 feet away from you? Like, hey, you can watch these people that have rehearsed this thing and are really good at it, or you can just come over here.
Dude, I did a show in the park this summer and there wasn't even a fucking microphone, and I'll tell you what, that was very annoying, but also the most difficult. It's like somebody could be having a regular ass conversation in the park. It's a fuking public park, and they're louder than.
So this isn't one of your favorite bombing stories?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say I bombed, but it
Somebody
was like,
could say
I
that.
feel like the show bombed. Because
That also happens. That also too.
No amplification.
Yeah.
Of
there was no
voice.
microphone.
Yeah.
I was like, so we're just yelling at these people.
It's like somebody that did a bad job on the Titanic. I don't necessarily think that I did a bad job.
Yeah. Well, there's that thing of like, you know when you're like at a show and nobody's getting the audience and you're like, I'm gonna get them.
Oh,
And then you don't get them and you're like, oh, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
well, I
And
thought
then
I was the best.
you go to the
Like,
back-
Yeah, man, I really thought I
you
was
just
gonna
eat
get 'em.
shit
You
for
go to the
like-
back of the room and you just start going, what's wrong with these people?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it was like
why
I was.
would,
It's
why
such
would
a
they sit here if they don't like it?
They
Yeah,
didn't like the dick stuff. They don't like the clean stuff. They don't like the witty stuff. What do we want?
No, but I do think that the best feeling of comedy is being the person who turns the room.
Worse.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's the person who gets them. That's like it's like because everybody else has gone up and you're like, I'm the fucking champ. I did this.
Right.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's like you're going. I mean,
So often your best moment could come after a lot of people bombing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talk a lot about how like the beer industry and the kind of industry are the same, and it's like you can have a brewery that makes a shitty beer that bombs, right? And you're like, oh, well, you made a shitty beer that bombed, but then you have those breweries that bomb all of their beers, and you're like, oh, you're fucking.
You're just not very good at making beer.
And then the one brewery
Yeah, they
makes
just had a lot
the
of
beer.
they just had a lot of yes men around them. They're like, yeah, Steve, you're a great home brewer. Not this
Yeah.
Steve, but another Steve.
Different Steve.
That was-
Are you
that
a
was-
home
yeah.
brewer, Steven?
No,
No.
not at all.
Both of us are too cool to actually make beer.
You get all this free beer. Why
Who
would
told you two were too cool?
It's
I
my
didn't
own
say that.
interpretation.
Steve's cool.
They keep talking to each other.
It says it on the bottom.
I'm turning you. I'm trying to turn you two against.
It
each
says it
other.
on the it says it on the Media Noche bottle. That means it must be true.
That you're cool.
Yeah,
It
they were
says-
too cool to brew.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that's nice.
isn't that great? It was put in print
Well,
that
it
beer
must,
that you
it must be true if somebody wrote it.
for that beer you didn't particularly like.
It's fine. I mean, it seems like a good version of something I don't like.
Yeah, it seems like it was well done for a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
We did.
really care about.
We asked you what you liked, and you said Mexican lagers, so we're doing the Mexican.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah.
into that.
Which
for
is
sure.
the exact opposite of what
Yes.
this Imperial
So,
Stout is.
Shane, I guess before we move on from Bombers Club, is there anyone in particular that you want to talk about?
I mean, we can talk about last night's show.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the weekend?
The singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Great
can talk about
halftime
that.
show.
We
Great
can talk about
halftime
that
show.
bomb
Yeah.
if you want to.
Whoa!
I thought it was good.
I did too. I thought
Did
it
you
was
guys not
really
like his
I didn't
halftime?
watch.
Did you watch his halftime show?
I didn't watch it.
Nick,
thought it was-
Nick's
What were you
like,
two
what's
doing during the Super Bowl this year?
What was I
We
doing?
definitely were doing something.
You were napping.
What is happening?
like a couple old.
I'm just like not a big
I
fan
don't
of
really
sports
care,
ball.
yeah.
I like basketball.
Don't call it sports
Oh,
ball.
it's
You know
sports
you're an
ball to
asshole
me.
for
Yeah.
doing
Ah,
that.
You're
yeah.
being kitschy.
That joke
I'm from
bomb. How's that?
Nebraska.
This is her responding.
Those are my
You
worst
stole a
balls.
joke from the internet. Did you do that?
Did you just black out for a
I
second?
think you
Did
just
not
draw
remember
a
your
picture and
bombs?
have a
Okay,
meme
all
for
of
us.
I'm saying all All of my worst bombs right now are me just constantly trying to throw stuff out in person and then falling fucking flat and then being like, well, anyway.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Go out to pasture.
I'm gonna be like, you remember that podcast yesterday? She's like, I don't at all.
I had a rough one last night at Corey saw in Steamboat because these people wouldn't shut up, and I tried to be nice for so long, and then they were terrible. And then you know that feeling where you're like, someone's going on after me, so I can't just like burn this place to the ground. And then you feel like you get bullied because you kind of like don't give them everything you have. It is awful. It's still sitting with me.
Well, it was one of those. They were very drunk
Yeah.
for a 6 p.m. show, which is still it happens, right?
Yeah.
Side note: they were all from Jersey. Should be noted. I feel like there's all the factors.
I don't know if we need to keep putting that on them.
You're right.
You know, like I
It's a
know
little
like people like
status.
Jersey kind of sucks or whatever. Like it's a little like fucking calm down, Colorado. All right.
I don't even know. I've never been.
Yeah.
I've never been either, but Garden State is a great movie, so I assume that some people.
I don't know if it is.
We had
great.
roommates that were from Jersey, and they a bunch of their friends and stuff had moved out here, and they were cool.
Well, all
Shane,
right.
have you ever listened to the Shins? Have you ever listened to the Shins?
Yeah, they changed my life.
I felt like I was just knees before.
Yeah.
For the record, though, like there are, of course, you can't categorize the entire state of New Jersey as one type of person, but there is definitely a type of person that comes from New Jersey that feels a certain level of when they're on vacation, they're ready to rage, and then they have a certain level of entitlement.
Yes.
That goes
And these
along
people
with-
were very entitled, and they were from New Jersey.
because sometimes you're at a show
They
and
were Italian.
there are hecklers. Oh, that's because that's better.
Yeah.
Because
Those
that's
fucking
They
dirty
were
cops.
they're Italians.
because that's way better.
Oh shit.
So there's a
I don't
type
know.
of person
I
that
don't
heckles
know.
at a show that they want to make it about them. That's most hecklers, right? They just want to make a show about them. They're drunk. They're just here to have a
I
party.
thought they were trying to make it better, though.
Of course, they
I
always
was
are.
helping. I was helping. I know. Oh, you do this every night.
You asked me, and I answered.
Yeah.
Now, what I actually am very curious about, Shane, is because
9 inches.
Yeah. It's an inch longer than Robin Williams. He had the same joke.
Yeah.
So the
Everybody has that.
yeah, I know it's a good one.
Not me. I'm an idiot.
I say 2 inches.
My
'Cause that's
question.
like a pretty big clip owner. So I feel
That's a
like
huge clip.
Yeah.
Good for you, bro.
These people.
It's like,
Yeah. It's like this goddamn water bottle she has. It explains
oh
a
my
lot.
god.
Yeah, it's like a little tip on that water bottle. Is that an
Yeah.
accurate representation of mixed tank?
Gotta stay hydrated.
Real girthy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then the tip
Yeah,
is
it's
just
just-
tiny.
The funny part is, I also say 2 inches, so we're very.
That's cool. You guys match.
Yeah.
You really are
we
soulmates.
mostly just rubbed together.
Yeah.
You know each
Just
other's
tip to
material all too well.
Yeah. That's for
Tip to clip.
sure.
So these people eventually got kicked out from the show. It was very aggressive and very obnoxious. But my question is that
Were you
because-
up there when they got kicked out?
No.
No, the next comic was. But because you have like a slower paced, kind of soft spoken style, do you feel like you're more susceptible to
No.
heckles sometimes?
I mean, these people just weren't going to be fixed. You
Yeah.
know, like, so no, I don't think so. I don't think you like being loud or, what in God's name?
Medianoche, man.
Oh my god,
It's been-
earthquake!
that's what
Earthquake!
that movie was called.
If that comes through, it's gonna be real good audio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice mic, so it probably won't. You could literally hear it from like the sternum up.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I feel
what?
like that
It
was
sounded
just
like
caught on
your
the mic.
asshole sucked up
Yeah.
air and then pushed it up.
Yeah.
Complete wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a push. Not by choice. I did not choose
That was
that.
so gnarly.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
You just heckled this podcast with your
I
I can't
It's a
even get
physical
through
reaction.
this.
Perfect example.
No, I don't think so. I don't really think about it though. I think like what makes me susceptible to heckling is just like my body, and just like I think people look at me and they're just like, this is weird. I'm gonna get him.
I'm
I'm
gonna get
gonna
him.
get
Yeah,
him.
oh my God.
I don't think
Get the
anybody's
fuck outta
like
here.
necessarily susceptible to getting heckled. It's just the person in the crowd that is crazy that wants to.
No,
Right, it's based. I think it just depends on who's
usually
in
the
the
individual
audience,
and not
and
the
they'll pick
performer.
who.
Yeah.
Right.
When it's the performer, it's questions. We
No.
all know that. You don't ask open-ended questions. You fucking give a round of applause if this. You know, you don't.
I mean, I ask open-ended questions all the time.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
will. Sometimes I want people to answer because it is fun.
I don't fuck around with it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
I
do
was
like
gonna
when
have to.
people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things that like that's a rule in comedy that maybe should have had existed at one point, but now I think is like unnecessary. Like there are a lot of rules and like that.
For sure.
So like I don't know, like, cause like, you know, like I think it also depends on how you pose the question. So like, you guys ever think about like, started kind of doing this thing about how like, as an example, like how your dominant side is capable of like anything you ask it to do.
Yeah.
And then like your non-dominant side is the most useless thing you ever had in your life. And like you can ask a question like that and not give them the moment to answer. You know, like if you give them the example
right.
quick enough to fill the space before they need to like.
You don't think you ever get the drunk person?
I think you do, but I also think they're easy to steamroll. And
Okay,
also,
yeah.
I think if they're answering the question, they're actually paying attention, which is also valuable.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I feel like I ask some that, you know, depending on answers, I'll be like, do you guys do this? And if somebody's like, yes, I do this, then I will take it in like one direction. And if people don't do that, then I'll take it in the opposite, where I'll sort of make fun of
It's a
people
very
who
pivot
do.
or wolf.
I mean,
Right, so I do like when people answer some questions.
I would say only ask a question if you're ready for crowd work.
Right.
feel
And I
like-
definitely think I try to, you know, I do want to do some crowd work, and I am not comfortable, or I don't think it's fun really to be like, what do you do? Where are you from?
Well, that's
So
not
it's
like
I
good
would
crowd
rather-
work. You know, like.
Right, and so to just start it, I feel like I'd
You're a
do-
comedian.
Well,
Go
I-
tell us a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I would just rather be like, I already have a bit about this, so if you don't give me anything, I'll just tell you the bit.
Well, I always really love to, like, when you're really in the zone and the jokes are working, I like to just make comments about people's reactions or just an observation about them. I'm not asking them any questions.
Yeah.
It's more or less just like me kind of picking at something about
Yeah.
them. We
Just
had
gonna roast somebody.
those two guys last night that both looked like Santa Claus. Did
Oh,
we
yeah.
confirm that they were a couple or not?
I don't know, but that was weird.
Yeah, they were both like almost
They were good
identical.
audience members.
Yeah, they were amazing. They were great. They were down to take a joke. They gave one
Yeah,
back. They
yeah.
flicked me off at one point.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were fun. Like they
Yeah.
were a really great time.
Yeah, it's like it's so weird. Like some of those, it's also like a weird demographic in that town for those shows because it's like clearly some people with a shitload of money, and
Right.
there's clearly some people who are just laborers who live in the town next door.
Yeah, so we were doing shows in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, which is obviously a big tourist town for skiing, but then you're pretty close to the Wyoming border there. There's a lot of rednecks there too, like just country folk, and then you have a lot of rich people there too.
In Wyoming, yeah. So you did it. You were a little more like state elitist again. Then you're pretty close. You did it.
People get the character type.
Yeah.
Well, when you say Colorado,
saying
no, here's the thing: is when you say Colorado, people don't know that most of the state is ranchers, miners, things like that. When
Yeah.
people think of Colorado, they think of everybody that lives in Denver.
You
know,
think of
it's
Boulder, right?
Patagonia wearing, crystal collecting.
Yeah,
boots
yeah.
working. Yeah. So, but that's
It's very Portland.
Don't attack me.
Yeah.
Don't attack me right now.
I don't know. You're wearing Carhartt right now, so you could fit either. one.
This is actually from Costco, so it's a cost heart. Thank you. It's very warm.
Yeah, that's fair. But the hat literally.
$30.
It
The
does
hat
say
literally
Carhartt,
says
yeah.
Carhartt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The hat is Carhartt. The hat is Carhartt. But
Jesus.
these hats are $10. You know, the coats are like really expensive, and I'm like, I bought this at Costco for $30. This is a deal, baby.
Have you been defending yourself in your head for a long time, waiting for that comment, or what?
No, I think
It would seem pretty like because you really had some prepared crowd. Work.
They really got
I
you.
have
Yeah.
said this
You're
because
in a corner.
people do compliment my jacket, and they'll be like, I like your Carhartt jacket. But it's Costco, and I paid $30, and I just like love a deal. It's like a good thrift store
Yeah,
find.
the only thing I love more than food is a deal.
I love deals, dude.
Yeah, deals
Wheeling,
are-
Deal on
dealing.
food.
If I can bargain something
What,
with
what,
you,
what are we talking? What do you think a deal on food is?
No, I
$1
mean that's
$5
generally like no, that's
$1
a,
tacos.
that's an existential
$1
question.
tacos,
like,
$3
that is
breakfast
something-
burrito. That would be a deal.
The $3 breakfast burrito would be a deal, but that's also like when you.
That
think-
depends.
But yeah,
There's-
it depends
there's
on
a
the
million
burrito.
factors. Yeah.
What?
Depends on the burrito.
Yeah,
For sure.
Absolutely.
I feel like Santiago's burritos are a deal, and they're about $2.50. And they're
Santiago
Okay.
sucks.
Yeah.
No,
So-
I like Santiago.
They suck. I don't like the Colorado style of burrito, which is just they do thin and like 1 to 2 ingredients. Is basically all they
When
have.
you say thin, what does that mean?
Like-
you mean the
Torpedo.
like
The
the
well, if
burrito
it's
is
a
not full.
handheld,
Yeah.
if you're not
I
gonna be
just-
smothering
there's
it in
so
More
cheese,
like a breakfast taco.
We don't have
than
to smother
It's like a
a
taquito
breakfast
that they're
burrito.
rolling.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can still
dude.
make a girthy one without it being smothered in
You know what they do? They call them handhelds here.
Oh, really?
In Nebraska, a burrito's always not smothered, and here,
Well, because we
smothered's
smother
at the
it with
preferred.
green
That's not
chili.
true. Listen, I've been here longer than anybody.
I've been to
and-
both.
And I have to say that all you have to do is find the right restaurant. Every kind of
Not
burrito
true, because the
exists.
place you go to over here still has the same size of burrito.
Right, but if you want a bigger one, there's those restaurants also exist.
Yeah, but I don't think that's as common here.
But is it a Colorado thing that you make thin ones?
I hadn't seen it
I
until
don't
No,
I
I don't think
Honestly,
so.
I think
So
it
at
creeps
all.
up from New Mexico. to be
I hadn't
honest.
seen it till
I
I
had a breakfast burrito
Northeast,
this
it's-
morning at Studio City, and it was fucking gigantic.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Dine-in breakfast burritos here are fucking huge.
Smothered.
almost
I smothered
every
it
day.
in red and
But you
green
keep
chili.
doing the smothered thing. When I think of a breakfast burrito,
No, I'm
it's-
saying dine-in.
Hold on. I'm saying,
Dine-in.
yeah, exactly. When you dine in, you guys are like, oh, it's smothered. Like, no, a breakfast burrito is a to-go food,
Boom.
no matter what.
No.
I don't think so.
Absolutely
because
not.
I don't
No
think so.
matter
Absolutely
what.
not.
I don't
No,
think so,
no,
and it's always
It
better
is
smothered.
it's certainly a great to-go food, but it's not always a to-go
It's
food.
always a to-go.
I
You're
don't think
fucking
so.
Absolutely
insane.
not.
You don't know shit from
Absolutely.
Syracuse. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Like
I know I know good breakfast burritos.
No, you
I
don't.
don't think you- I don't
I'm
think you
from Texas. That's like breakfast burrito.
The argument
When
you
I
wanna
said New
make-
Mexico, it actually comes from. I bet it comes straight from Texas,
Yeah,
all the way
yeah,
straight up.
fucking.
The thing about breakfast, arguably, is that breakfast is all on the go, right? Like, it
No!
doesn't matter-
No,
What?
that's
not true.
Oh, bullshit! Like, you've never seen these fucking
Hold on.
cereal-
You eat
Dine-in
French toast
breakfast
on the
burritos,
go.
and then you go. It's all on the go.
French
What?
toast
No,
on
that's
the
what
go
they
with
want. I'm not
pancakes.
Yeah.
No,
Good
we're
job.
easy.
I hope you
Over
shit
easy eggs
yourself.
on the
Boo!
go. It's
Medianoche.
Your beard's ugly.
Oh, man.
A scramble on the go? No, that's a
That's
sit
fucking-
down.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
I can't wait to have this. Can't wait to have these pancakes on the bus.
Oh, a cup of syrup and my fucking waffles to dip.
Pull your head out of your crack.
You guys are just politically harassing me. I'm not saying.
Don't back down.
I'm not
Are you gonna
saying-
stand on this platform?
Yes, I have something to say. I'm not saying.
Say it.
You can't get new
No, let me
You
say
said
it.
I have something to say, and then
You
you said I have something to say, and then I'm
keep
not
interrupting
saying.
me.
I don't
I'm
think
not
you know what you're
asking you to open
doing.
a
You
question,
beard
okay?
fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
mad you said that about breakfast.
I'm not saying that all breakfast should be to go, but that's what the marketing is supposed to make you think.
No, it is
Yes,
not.
it is. They make
cereal.
They make to go cereal containers though. They really do make those. You can buy them at any grocery store.
You mean the little
True, but those are more
individual
I
servings?
think, those are individual servings, not really to go, because
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense to have like a spoon and
Yeah.
a bowl
They're
full of
made to
milk
fit
in
a
the car.
couple.
What you're doing is you're
They
trying to
are
say
not.
like the people who
They
are like
are.
when you start your day and you have breakfast
Right.
and you like to get it going, have a cup of yogurt or whatever. Like I see what you're saying, but the marketing thing is not. That's like
That wasn't even the
Yogurt.
original statement. You were like, breakfast is geared to go.
yeah.
It is
Which
because
we
people
have
are like,
decided is
It's a start of
how
the day
many,
thing.
how many times have you woken up early to make breakfast?
All the time.
all
Every
the time,
morning. I
every
work
morning.
I don't stay up late to make dinner. What's the point of this? argument?
Yeah. Do you
That's
know what you're
wild.
talking about?
I'll stay
I mean-
up late to make dinner. I'll stay up till
I wake up-
I will get out.
Wait a
I'll
minute,
get
you
out of
wait?
bed and make ramen.
Yeah, but you
I'm
wait.
just like I lay there. I'm like I'm hungry.
But you wait until it's late to make dinner, or not just when you're hungry?
I mean, no, I eat dinner at the same time, but I mean, I guess when you say dinner, I'm just like I'm gonna eat again later.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If you have a day off of work,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever set your alarm to wake up early and make breakfast?
I pretty much always wake up early anyway. I wake up in the morning and I make coffee and I take my dogs out and then we usually eat breakfast.
We did for Valentine's Day.
But you're
Yeah,
that's
I
also
made sausage and gravy, or sausage gravy and biscuits. Vegan and non-vegan.
That also-
That's not really. I'm gonna have sex later in the day kind of breakfast.
It's also not a to-go.
Yeah.
right after.
We've been together for
Right.
during actually.
It's
But
also
yeah, what do we do? Don't you get? We weren't eating.
I made extra to spread on the bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who had the gravy on who? Is the good question.
Yeah.
I just let the dog look it off me most of the time.
I had-
Biscuits and gravy, also not a to-go breakfast, Steve.
What is,
Not a
what's your
to-go
favorite breakfast? Steve,
My favorite breakfast?
something when you
I mean,
eat
it
while you're
depends
driving.
No, I don't. I don't prefer to eat while I'm driving at all.
But
But
it
I
sounds
feel
like
like
you love breakfast on the go.
So
I do.
politically
No.
correct.
I mean, you're so defensive right now. It's insane. You were like a fucking meerkat.
Pop-Tarts? Are you fucking kidding me? Toasters? Strudels? Get the fuck out! Let go my Eggo right now!
Go-Gurt? It's
Let go my fucking Eggo!
You can't do that with syrup though on the go.
You can, you shouldn't. It's a sticky mess.
Okay, then it's not really to go.
Because you could fill all the
You
holes
can-
on
yeah.
those Eggos, but as soon as you take a bite, all the syrup just runs off that bite.
There
So
was
you
something-
can't take it to go.
There was
Unless you
something
fold
kinda
it and then
sexual.
eat it in 2 bites. Because then you could do like a hump and then you do
And
like
it's like
you do a
it's
bottom drop on it.
2-bite waffle, one right after the other. I guess you
You
could.
remember when Taco Bell
You're
came
a
out breakfast and
savage.
it just fucking flopped? It
Did
wasn't,
it?
Yeah, it looked
wasn't
disgusting.
Did
It
it?
wasn't
Did
good.
it even go
Talk
anywhere?
about breakfast?
It was not good.
They still make it. It's still a thing.
Yeah, I thought they still.
And
did
I
that.
don't, again, I have to clarify now that I don't eat these places. I don't eat breakfast on the go. I usually don't eat breakfast at all.
Oh, so
Which
you mean
is
your marketing
so
genius is being wasted?
What are you fighting for right now?
I'm not fighting for anything. I'm just stating my view on the world. Welcome to breakfast.
He's got
So you don't want to fight for your view of the world?
He's like, listen, we don't call Randall.
No, because sometimes I'm wrong. I understand that sometimes
this
I'm
is-
wrong.
Oh wow!
could be one
I'm
of
glad
those
we have this on
times.
a recording. Jesus Christ!
Steve, you really are getting all this shit. I'm on your side now. Let's talk.
Thank you. Here's what we should all be eating for breakfast is soup. Soup for breakfast is the ultimate.
What kind of
What are
soup?
you, a
It
veteran?
doesn't-
Sure.
Well, I feel like morning would be too early to have tomato.
A toothless one.
No,
Okay.
what?
I
Here
don't
we
feel
go.
like you can have tomato soup in the morning.
And that's my-
Oh,
You're
the
gonna
soup,
wake
the
up
soup,
with
the soup,
heartburn?
The
That's
soup,
crazy.
the soup. I thought you were just saying tomato in general.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
just
okay.
soup.
Oh, you don't eat a whole tomato every morning?
I
You
love
could put-
tomato.
you
But I
could
mean,
put
you know,
tomato in
the
there.
argument is what kind of soup for sure, right?
Oh, for breakfast?
For breakfast. But like, why wouldn't you eat like a hearty stew for
Ooh,
breakfast?
what was
I
it?
love bagels for breakfast. My favorite would be like an everything bagel. I put an avocado on it. I'll do some more everything bagel
Oh, yeah.
seasoning and then some hot sauce. So good.
To get back to Shane's question, favorite breakfast would be just like eggs over easy, hash browns with a bit of crispiness to them, and toast.
Shredded hash browns.
Yeah, shredded over. It's not hash browns, but what's the other one? Home fries.
Yes, home
I go hash
fries.
browns over home
The
fries.
thicker
all
ones,
day.
yeah.
Yes.
No, like just shredded. Like instead of like lumps of potato.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
the lump of potato.
I like the breakfast taco.
Of home fries,
What's
are
on the breakfast taco though?
small
Oh,
chunks.
well, I mean, there's like for me it's like egg with cheese, refried beans, like cracked bacon.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
People miss out on the refried bean. I don't think people realize how much.
It's
Good.
amazing. It's
Oh, it's
amazing.
great.
It's
And that's
great.
actually
Yeah.
one of the big
Yeah.
goals of this podcast.
Huevos
is to
rancheros.
shine some
Yeah.
light on the refried.
Mexican
Wake
breakfast
up,
is my
people.
favorite.
Ooh,
I really think that we skipped the super breakfast topic too early here. Let's talk about it.
What would the soup you would pick?
Any soup.
No. You have
No,
to pick
because
one.
I already said you
I
can't
picked
do
one.
tomato.
It's your
I
favorite.
could
Yeah, you
probably
have to have a
start
favorite
with
if you have this
tomato.
kind of depth to
What
your
about like a
argument.
hearty vegetable stew for breakfast? Listen,
It's
I've eaten
challenge.
clam chowder for breakfast. It's incredible. It is the fucking best.
Look at you. You are so soupy. Look at you.
I'm a soupy boy. I'm a soup
I
daddy.
think you guys found her shirt.
Soup
Yeah.
daddy.
You know what? I could see clam chowder with a roll for breakfast. Like I could actually
It's
see that
not
working.
crazy.
That's
You
so
put,
thick.
if
I
you
feel
put-
like that'd be having fettuccine alfredo.
But if you like put like hot
It's
sauce in
creamy
it or something,
for sure.
you
But
put like a little Tabasco in
A
it.
French
and then,
onion
like,
soup.
yeah.
A French onion soup's good at any point in time during the day.
Yeah.
A well done
All-
French onion.
All soups are good for breakfast. Is what I'm saying.
They're not.
Negative.
No.
Tomato
Ramen noodle?
Tomato soup.
Ramen noodle's not a soup.
Actually, I will have pho.
Pho?
Yeah,
For
for breakfast.
breakfast?
especially
Really? That's
when
what I'm
I'm,
saying. Yeah.
when I'm hungover, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I have heard
it's
that.
the best
Yeah.
hangover food.
I'm a
Yeah.
fan of pho, but I will go ramen
Yeah, but
over
is that,
I'm
really
actually-
is that really in the morning you're having that?
No, but it is breakfast.
It's like a lunch.
Of course. When you
It's
wake
like a
up.
hangover.
lunch.
I'm having a
You're,
hangover.
it's 2 o'clock.
I've already had like
You
a
made
runny
it there.
dump.
I'm
Yeah.
coming
Two
full.
o'clock
I'm
now.
coming full
Alright.
circle because of menudo.
Sure.
Absolutely, it's a hangover
Absolutely.
soup that you have right when you wake up.
Yeah.
I mean, you honestly got me full circle.
Yeah, but you were talking like, let's get some fucking Campbell's chunky.
No, I was not. Don't fucking put that literal label on me, dude.
But that's what you said. You were like you said a nice hearty vegetable stew at one point.
You said
It does
Campbell's
not mean
tomato.
Campbell's.
You suck.
Yeah, that's-
You're so full of shit. kind of
no,
a dick.
Campbell's.
You're a dickhead.
No, Campbell's. Alright, well, I'm sorry for telling you about the best breakfast to ever exist.
Buddy, you are not really filling up your dance card.
It's everything they does, though.
Hey, I made you breakfast in bed, sweetheart.
Don't
Is it?
spell it.
Don't forget to put on your bib.
I literally stayed up for 10 hours making this hearty fucking stew. And
The stock is my own recipe.
Yeah, I boiled the bones to get this one.
We make the pickles in-house.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
love
have had
that
chili for breakfast,
Come on.
so I
Come on.
agree with that.
Chili. Yeah.
You throw an egg on chili, that kind of works.
But to be, you
yeah,
put an egg on a
I
lot of things.
I make this good bean chili. It's a red chili. I know Colorado's like a green chili place, but I like red chili.
But
But
at the
also
same
green
time,
chili for breakfast is also a thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
I make a chile pork verde. That's really good.
I mean, you put green chili all over that breakfast burrito. Now we've come full circle.
Yeah.
If you put enough
This
chili
is
on
the
your
Rotating
breakfast
Tap
burrito,
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about
Rotates.
soup.
But
you
at
put
the same
enough
time,
chili on the burrito. Now it's a soup/burrito.
But we've all been on the road and had to eat non-traditional breakfast, dinner, food items at different times. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
depending
I'm
on how
also a
hungry
trash
and desperate
person. I'll
you
eat
are, yeah.
pizza for breakfast.
Yeah, I'm a rat.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like the issue is that you think it's like okay for soup to be like a 5-day a week.
He just
kind
thinks
of
soup
I never
should be
said
You're like,
marketed.
hey everybody, I'm gonna
I
whip.
never said no.
But the
Hey,
way,
you
the
put
way,
words
like,
in my mouth.
I feel like he
you put
just
some
thinks
soup in your mouth.
soup should be marketed as a breakfast food.
Yeah, but you were saying it like it's more regular than anyone else here.
I'm not saying it is more regular. I'm saying it should be more regular.
So how often do you have soup for breakfast?
How often do I have soup for breakfast?
Yes.
I like lentils.
Once
Yes.
every week or two.
That's a lot.
Yeah, dude, yeah. That's exactly what I
That's
felt.
It's
too
so
much.
good. I
That's
swear
too
to God.
much.
I guess
It's not. I
porridge is
swear
kind
to
of a
God.
soup.
Yeah?
Porridge. I love oatmeal.
I do.
Let's just keep
That's
naming
not a
these
soup,
soups
though. I
that would
think
be good
it-
for
Oatmeal is not a
breakfast
soup.
and keep.
Oatmeal's not a soup.
Oatmeal is not.
It's close though. It's the closest cereal to soup.
No, cereal with milk, I'd say, is closer to soup. At least
No,
it's
because
like.
it's like there's like a little more body in the like.
I feel like oatmeal. I do it pretty thick and
Oatmeal's
like.
almost like a stew.
See?
No,
And then
cereal.
chicken noodle soup?
Dude,
That's like
cereal
a
is
Yeah, but,
literally
yeah,
a bowl
oatmeal is
of
kinda closer to a
liquid,
stew in
and
the
that is what
consistency
makes
then.
it closer.
Because like you like, and also like when you throw blueberries and like pecans in there, you're like, oh, this is like very like this is like the carrots and corn of it.
You know what?
Yeah,
just
this is
because,
hearty. This is
just because I
hearty.
know
I
Nick's
fucking
arguing
hate that you
this.
took us down this road.
You're getting
That I'm
deep.
up right now for this.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're
sorry.
a fucking.
We can start reviewing these Mexican lagers.
I just want to say I can't believe Nick reviewed oatmeal because he doesn't even like it, and I know for a fact I've never seen him eat it, so he just reviewed it.
What do you mean?
Even you don't eat oatmeal, and you were just like, I think oatmeal.
I was more
is
comparing
stew.
than reviewing.
Yeah.
but- Jesus.
I eat oatmeal a lot. It's a great breakfast.
I love oatmeal.
I could argue that it's
Welcome
a
to
soup almost.
Rotating Tap, the breakfast.
It's not a fucking.
Okay, so we've been drinking Los Locos Mexican Lager by Epic Brewing.
Yeah. So what we like to do on every comics episode is we pick a style that sometimes people really love and sometimes people really hate. And I actually think Mexican style lagers is one that fit the bill. And Shane actually wanted
Came
to do
through
this one.
for you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so you wanted, you
Save
had
the
actually,
show.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we. So when I asked you about this, you were like, I like kind of barbecue beers, things that you can drink all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So did your family or you grow up drinking like a lot of Mexican lager stuff?
I mean, I don't think like particularly. I just think I gravitate toward because I like IPAs and stuff, but I can't drink 10 of them. You know,
Right,
like but like
Yeah, of
this,
course.
like yeah, but like
What do you mean by grew up drinking? When did you start drinking?
as I see him.
Well, when I was 7, my dad gave me.
Yeah.
Well, when I was 10,
Tequila.
my dad
I was
gave me,
probably
I said, sat me on
15
his
when I
knee
started
and-
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't drink for 12 years and I
Yeah.
turned 13.
Yeah.
And
I
I was
think I
a
started
man.
probably 15 when I started like having like weekend beers and stuff. And
I
I'd
started-
had beers before, but it was like when it became more regular kind of.
With your friends.
Yeah, yeah,
Sneaking them and getting
yeah.
Because I started late.
Same here.
I didn't start until
But
I
this
was
is
like
like
17.
this is everywhere in Texas. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, beer is beer is
Yeah.
exploded. But like, I mean, I think like this is just a thing you drink.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like it's there. You can
What-
have it all day with a barbecue and like, you know, like Mexican food and Mexican culture is so big in Texas. So like, Corona goes right with it or whatever kind of.
What was always in the family fridge? Was it Modelo, Corona, Tecate?
What was most like? No, that wasn't like it wasn't like that. Like it was like pretty domestic house. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like this is what I gravitated towards.
Yeah.
Well, what's the beer that fuck? I hate that I can't think of this right now. The beer that Alamo is based off of, King of the Hills beer. That's a real beer.
Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. There it is.
Yeah, that Lone Star's a good beer.
It is.
Yeah, it's a
I
good.
like it.
It's an all day beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a breakfast beer, lunch beer, dinner beer. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, it's like when I say an all day beer, it's like if you're gonna be
Like,
outside
if you're
all
gonna
day.
be drinking.
Yeah, if you're gonna
It's
be
an
in a
all-day
pool
beer.
or like if you're barbecuing or you're in a park, like you're gonna be doing. You're not going out. You're having. It's an outside. I'm gonna be outside for 4 hours with buddies. Like,
Yeah.
let's make sure we have a couple 12 packs. Yeah.
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 So all right. So before we get into this, with Mexican lagers in particular, there's really no set definition for this. There's some that are made with corn, and some people feel like that's the definition of it. But then this one in particular is brewed with. So this is Epic Los Locos Mexican style lager. It's brewed with lime and sea salt, and that's their take on it. So with Mexican style lagers, you have a traditional kind of Corona Modelo type thing where they do brew with some type of corn. Gives it a little bit more sweetness and lightens the body. But when it comes to craft beer, people kind of take their own whatever directions with it, and we'll get to one unique ingredient with the next brewery that I think is pretty fun. But all right, so everybody go around the table. Nick, you can start. Tell us what you smell, tell us what you taste, and then tell us a food pairing that would go with this, and then your overall rating.
Drinkability immediately feels like a light, and I would definitely say taco. I'd say pork taco.
Pork.
That's what them food.
Yeah.
You're just gonna match it with a bunch of Mexican foods. Is that what we're doing?
Really? You want to have soup for breakfast? You
You
want to cut in early? You want to cut in early on this
I'm
one?
saying
So-
expand your horizons.
Yeah.
Yeah, pork chops, with mashed potatoes. Pork.
I mean, it's got lime, so I feel like Mexican food is what I would gravitate towards.
Right. I think that's going to be a common theme for this food pairing for the entire group. So
I mean, honestly, you could buy a 6-pack and pick up illegal Pete's to go.
100%.
I get a bowl.
yeah. So when I think of the food pairing with this in particular, it's definitely more a lot of cilantro rice bowl
Yes.
kind of thing.
I
or-
think you could do
Some avocado.
like something very
Put it in
tomato
the
based
can.
that's not necessarily like
You could-
Mexican.
You could
Yeah.
pasta.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
you could do-
tortilla soup just to piss Shane off.
I do. That's one of my favorite soups, chicken tortilla. But like, I think you could do something. You could do a salad with this.
Oh, easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Like
yeah.
any kind of light lager.
This
like
would be
that.
good at a barbecue.
Yeah.
I feel like we said it was sort of juicy. I mean, it's like summery.
Yeah, and it's a little tastes like Sprite, which is that. It's fine, but this isn't what I would drink all day. It's
Yeah,
got
because
a,
you don't want that extra flavor in there. You
yeah.
want it to taste
Like I
a little
like
bit
putting
sour.
lime in like a dark Modelo. You know.
Sure,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like I don't like this is like it just tastes like a little too like almost like a bad soda fountain or something.
Okay.
You could do a beer mosa.
You
Yeah,
could
this
do
would
a
be
beer
an
mosa
easy
with
one where you
yeah.
get added
This
to
would
it.
be
Cheers. All right, so everybody, 1 through 5. If you're gonna give it a rating, 1 out of 5, what are you gonna give it, Nick?
Oh, like a
5's the best.
2.8.
2.8.
Yeah.
5's the best, and you give it a 2.8.
5's the best.
You can't go 5, otherwise you have nowhere to go for the ever again.
But I feel like I take into account, I really liked it. I think it's kind of sweet, but like not too sweet, and I would buy it and drink it, so I guess I won't give it a 5, but I would give it like a 4, because I would buy it.
4. It's a good score.
I'm gonna give it a 3.47. I liked it, but it's not an all day thing for me, and that's what I like in a Mexican lager. But it's good, but it's just a little too sweet.
It'd
Yeah,
be good
I mean,
to drink this while you were frothing on a hot day.
Fuck yeah, and that's why it's a 4.
Yeah.
That's why it gets a
Yeah,
higher
but that's
rating.
but
I
it's
stand
not like
by
an
4.
all day one for me.
Yeah,
just
and I
because
hope you
of the
know
sweet.
that the idea with this rating system is it's whatever you think it should be and not whatever it's supposed to be from like, hey, this is stylistically appropriate.
I think I'm not putting that kind of thought into it.
Of course not. You don't
Yeah.
put that much thought into anything.
I do. I put it into my act, in my art, my relationships with women. I'm an ally.
Steve, what do you give it?
I'll give it a
That's my
3.7.
I'm trying.
A 3.7?
Yeah,
Okay, a lot of decimals in this one. Hard
Yeah.
to do the math.
exactly.
I don't know, we picked the worst person that can do math to keep track of all this, but we're doing it. And then I love this beer. It's my go-to whenever I need the kind of a session like lager that, especially on a summer day. But so I'm gonna go with a 4.
All right. I feel like it did pretty well.
I think it scored highly. All right, so this one, Steve, what did you just crack?
This is a Sanitas Mexican lager from Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, are you familiar with Sanitas?
I am not. We got this from the Oscar Blues tap room.
Yeah, shout out to Oscar Blues Boulder for hosting us tonight. It was our first show there, and
we all ate shit, so let's move on.
What?
I'm just kidding.
You also like soup for
you didn't do
breakfast.
your famous soup for breakfast bit that everybody loves.
Dude, I'm not. This isn't a bit. This is fucking real life, Shane. Get with
This
it.
is something.
I know. That's why I'm
people
concerned
live
for you.
Shane.
You.
So yeah. Anyway,
You've agreed with me on like 5 of the 6 soups you've named. Would be good for breakfast.
I'm churching them up.
Honestly, pho usually has an egg even.
Yeah.
Is that ramen? Yeah.
Ramen and pho are not the same thing.
but ramen's better.
I thought the
They're
pho
sim-
had an egg, and ramen can have an egg.
Ramen does have an egg. Pho typically doesn't. I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah,
I like ramen better.
Yeah,
I do too.
I like pho.
it's mostly the eggs. It's because it's a breakfast soup.
But to be honest, I love
Yeah,
top
yeah.
ramen, and I just mix some veggies in there.
Of all the soups that are going to be a breakfast soup, it is ramen only because you're putting an egg on it.
A vegetable leaf, man.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But anyway,
Oh,
Steve, not everybody bombed.
Butter-
you.
People
Squash.
eat
We had a
gazpacho.
We had a good inaugural show.
Gazpacho
And
should
Oscar-
not even be a thing. Cold soup is crazy.
People love it. I don't, but
Cold
people
soup
do.
is crazy.
Cold soup is crazy.
The show's been hijacked.
It's not. You really did this to yourself.
Yeah, very much so.
This will be your most
I just feel like
downloaded
this is what a
episode.
I think
podcast
so.
at
It's
10
actually
p.m.
pretty
is
good.
like.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. All right, so this is the Bandito Mexican Lager from Sanitas Brewing Company, 4.9%. And the reason why this one is fun, not only did we grab it in a crowler from the Oscar Blues Boulder tap room where we did our show, it was fun, regardless of what Steve says. We were very happy to be there.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, you guys fucking killed. Like I thought you guys.
Steve had to host, that's why, and that sucks. It's not your fault, buddy.
Yeah.
And literally an old man died, so
It was pretty wild.
it was
Like,
a good
at the show?
Died.
Yeah. You weren't
Yeah.
there. You weren't
We,
there.
Yeah.
we killed him.
I stabbed him right in his fucking heart.
It was
Yeah.
fucking brutal.
Because he wasn't laughing.
So hot.
So that's what.
I meant with our jokes, we just killed.
No, so when comics say
Yeah.
they kill, it's because they pick the weakest member of the audience and stab them after the show.
Yeah. We beat him up in the
I'm
end.
smelling this beer.
So the
It
reason
smells
this
kind
one,
of funky.
all right. So the reason this one is particularly interesting is because it's a Mexican style lager brewed with roasted tortillas from McDevitt Taco Supply.
Bro, it has no taste.
I feel like
There's
it sort of
taste.
smells like.
After the beer, we
It's
should
almost like no or
we should have done that
Can
one
I
first.
say something rude?
You can
about
say
It should be
Way
colder
more
though. Like it's
Way
like,
colder.
I
Yeah.
feel like it
Should
sort
be
of
colder.
smells like barf.
yeah.
But you're
This is like if I threw this beer up, this is what it would be.
So do you like that?
I mean, I don't really like the smell.
This is like,
It's tortilla, right?
Yeah, it's made. Well, it's made with.
it's pretty
roasted
skunky
tortillas.
already, you know.
Corn
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
flour.
You know what you mean though?
It might be okay with a lime.
If
And
it
much colder in a lime.
If
But
it
Yeah.
it's not- yeah.
But that's basically the reason that you add a lime to a Corona is because it skunks so easily.
Yeah.
Because it's in clear bottles, you throw a lime in it.
Yeah.
So you just want that.
I don't
flavor.
like that.
if you had that real cold, you could drink that all day.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an all day.
yeah,
This is something that when I was 16, you'd want.
yeah.
Really, I feel
It's
like
not.
this one's way
Of the
better.
two, I definitely picked the Los Locos. This one rates lower for me for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Of the two, because I wasn't on the mic. Right? Of the two, I
Just
prefer
point
the
it
Los
towards your
Locos.
face.
Yeah, Los Locos I think was better.
Okay,
Yeah.
so far so good. So what would the food pairing be with the bad tortilla beer?
You
Shit.
throw it. You throw it in the
A shit
toilet.
taco?
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but fucking soup.
Look at
Breakfast.
you. You suck.
Here's the thing.
I would to go for waffles.
Who's taking me home?
As a person that understands
Georgia.
food, I like to cook brats and shitty beer, right? Like, you
you're
could boil
right.
shit off.
Yes.
You could definitely put this beer in a soup.
Sounds like you're
so
trying to make a soup.
I rest my case.
Cooking a brat and a shitty beer does work though.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is great. This
Yeah.
is
And
great.
it's like
fun.
every point I've made about this whole thing kind of makes sense a little bit.
All right.
What are
I
you
think you're
talking
stretching
about?
it.
Everybody's agreeing with you this whole podcast.
No, you hate the soup. Y'all hate the soup. Y'all hate the soup.
Just not a breakfast.
I came
food.
around.
I love
Do you like
I
that
love
show, The Soup? Talk Soup?
Never
Soupy
I've
watched
never,
Doopy?
I've never watched it.
Me neither.
Is it on
did
still?
I don't know, probably.
Wasn't it
I
Chris
know that was
Hardwick
like
for a
10
minute?
years
Yeah.
ago.
It's probably
Chris
really
Hardwick
bad.
hosted it for a minute.
With
Yeah.
Joel
I'd watch it.
Wolkowski.
McHale.
I thought it was Chris Hardwick for a minute.
It was Hardwick was on it for a minute, and then Joel McHale.
He did. Chris Hardwick did the internet one,
Oh, he did.
right?
Uh,
Joel McHale was on
At
the-
midnight, he did at midnight. Joel McHale did do Talk Soup. Okay, next beer.
All right. So before we move on, everybody go around. Nick, what was your rating? One through 5.
1.8.
1.8. That's still not the worst. So you kind of like vomit, from what I understand.
Yeah, I thought cooking with it would be great.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
I did not like it, and I will not buy it. I give it a 1.
Okay. 1. Shane.
I don't like being mean to people, so I'm just gonna give them a 2. But
I'm
That's not
crushing
true. You
dreams.
love being mean to people.
that's not true.
You just like being sassy.
Do you like being mean to people that eat soup for breakfast?
I just feel like everyone's tastes are different too. So just because like you don't like it, other people
I
do like
appreciate
it.
that, but I'm gonna give it a 2 because like I have the power to crush or elevate anybody.
Yes. Because if I give a positive rating to anything on here, it's going through the roof.
Well, with my guest ability, it's probably gonna be pretty.
The star power here is off the
It's
charts.
insane. It's crazy.
It's like a great logo.
There's so many people.
I'm gonna match Shane and say 2 also,
2.
because I feel like that's what it deserves.
Yeah, I just feel like there's nothing to it.
It's gimmicky and it doesn't taste good. Like we put corn chips in it, and you're like, okay, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I think it's odd
Don't
that
do
they're
that.
like we put a taco shell as opposed to a tortilla.
The only
so
reason
is
I'm-
it
Yeah.
seasoned?
Is
I like it
With
Caesar
just a
kind of
taco
Locos
packet?
shell?
Yeah,
That actually would make it
that's
better,
like
I
what it
think.
makes me think of.
Like a Doritos
Yeah.
taco. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I think that would give it a little more spice. The only reason I'm not going to give it a 1 is because there's nothing apparently wrong with it from like
Yeah.
a brewing effect, like a brewing defect side.
Sounds like
it
barf.
just isn't great. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not awesome. So
Yeah,
that's a
what'd
2.
you give? All right, great job.
Moving
Perfect.
on.
Second beer, I'm wide awake.
Now, we're moving on to the more large-scale, mass-produced breweries that make Mexican lagers. Shane, which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the Modelo.
Yeah, because you like Modelo, right?
I do.
This is kind of your
Modelo
jam.
Especial.
It is my
Dello.
Ella.
Georgia, what
You
was
get
the
it. If you guys get started to put it in the right tune, I can't really hold it.
Georgia? What was the first beer that you ever had? Like, what did you grow up on?
Oh God, either Budweiser, Bud Light, or
Yeah.
you know, in high school we'd always get Keystone because if we could buy it from someone that was just like the cheapest, you get a big one.
Steve, be a co-host.
When I was young, I feel like we drank a
I'm
lot of
pouring
liquor.
beers! Sorry, Georgia, what?
I feel like when we were young, we drank a lot of liquor. Just like we could get like a handle of vodka or something, everyone could share that.
All
So I
right.
didn't drink as much beer. I just didn't like it as much either. As I got older, I liked it more. I remember my first beer like after work or something, and I was like, wow, I feel like I earned this. It was like a different
That's a lie
beer.
you've been told by Big Beverage.
That this is what you need after.
All right.
Just like, yeah, a long week or something, I remember being like, wow, this is like a refreshing beer. It's like a different feeling.
Yeah.
Being old.
Yeah, if you earned something.
I
I
give it
paid
a
a
5.
bill.
Part of the team.
I give it a 5.
You love
I
Modelo.
do like Modelo.
I also really love Modelo.
It's a really good mass-produced beer.
But Negro Modelo is
It's my favorite.
it's the best.
Yeah. But the light is good.
I will say that I'm only going to give the Modelo, I only give it a 3 because I do already know I like Modelo, but it is not vegan.
What? Why? Because it's filtered with isinglass?
Yeah, things that it's filtered with, usually large scale beers, not all of them, but some of them, and Modelo does do it, and I think they use fish.
It's yeah. So isinglass is
Yeah.
It's like a fish gland.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did like Modelo, but I do know it's not vegan, so I don't really drink it anymore. So I give them a 3.
I feel you, but you know that's a lot of breweries.
It is a lot of breweries, but not all of them. And to be honest, for the most part in Denver, most of the small breweries are vegan. So
They're using shark gills to filter it out.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
key. It's a perfect filtering method.
They couldn't afford that.
But did you guys ever grow up with like, all right, say Modelo? It was mostly Corona where we were from. And everybody put the fucking lime in it. I don't know if everybody was down with that.
Yeah, they would do the.
Yeah.
Would they ever stick it in and then?
And then they do the bottles.
You do the flip it.
Yeah, flip it out.
How do you feel about somebody that does that? If
I
you see
like
them
it.
come
I like it.
Yeah, because I like that it's not stuck in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like I should be on the microphone,
But
but
just angle it towards yourself. If you want to
it'll
sit
be
back.
fine.
No, fucking just relax.
All right, bubble guts.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that noise was. Is me
Yeah.
relaxing.
I think it's fine. I don't care. You know,
I thought it was
don't-
always kind of douchey, to be completely honest.
I mean, I don't think you do it in like you do it for yourself. You don't make a show of it. If people see you doing it, so things like I don't think it's like douchey to not want like the lime in the neck of the bottle.
But Corona
It's
was
like
always one of those ones. It was a beer to me that people bought, not really because it tasted any better, but because you're like, I think I'm super fucking cool because I'm drinking Corona.
I'm sure that's part of it.
Lime.
It's very marketable beer or whatever. But yeah, I also don't think now if that's an issue for someone.
I
Yeah.
as a kid at
Or for
underage, getting someone to buy me Corona because we thought it'd be cool to get Corona and put the limes in it. We always got fucked with the small ones. Like, they always fucked up and got the little 8-ounce ones.
Oh, the Coronitas.
Yeah, the Coronitas. I was like, these are the worst. Until I was an adult, and still I'd buy a couple of the. To this day, I'll buy the wrong
You guys ever get like the Monster Margarita that they put a whole like Corona bottle?
Yeah.
Oh
into?
yeah,
That
yeah.
feels like a boss move. Like they just-
I like that's the kind of thing where I go, I'm gonna get fucked up in a strip mall.
There's children around when the bottles flip upside down. in the
This
market.
David Buster's is about to have a scene.
There's always an arcade nearby when the bottles flipped into the side of a margarita.
It wouldn't be the first time you made some children cry, Shane.
That's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
You had a traumatic experience snowboarding this weekend.
Yeah, and I did.
You made a kid cry.
Well, I called myself a stupid fuck in front of like 4 kids.
You did, so yeah, you said the first time you ever snowed?
Yeah.
Ever? How, what? Like, what's that?
What do you think, man? Come on.
I've never done it.
Don't do it.
I
It's
just
funny
Yeah.
because
Just
he was
falling?
like,
You
he
just
was-
fall for 3 days, right?
Yeah.
dude, literally in the car, Nick was like, I'm pretty sure he said he went snowboarding or whatever with Corey, you know, and I was like, nah, he probably just went and hung out. That's like what I literally said that. I was like, nah, he probably just
All
went
right.
and hung
Well,
out.
fuck you too.
I just like to clarify that super breakfast rules, okay?
Yeah, I
You're
thought
gonna know.
your enthusiasm was very high going into it, and I hope you had a good time.
I really did. I did enjoy it, but it did not go well. But I learned more, and I kept moving. Like,
Are you going to try it again?
I would try it again. I already
Yeah.
told Corey that. I just didn't feel safe going the next day without another lesson or two. I just needed to be a bit more.
I was just so happy that
Right.
because you took a lesson with Caitlin.
Well, Caitlin went into a different lesson.
Right. So Caitlin Cook was also on the trip with us, and she was with a group of I think 2 other women that were about her age,
Yeah.
right? So they had a little girl group.
Yeah.
And then you were.
How
with,
old is that? How old is she?
She's 30.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, right around there. And then Shane, you were with a group of 4 children.
No. I was not with 4 children.
4 tweens.
I've never been with 4 children. I want to make that perfectly
At the
blinding.
same time.
You know, we can edit this
No,
out
there were,
if
but we
want.
went. I was with 3 other adults, but like we
They
went
were
over to
really
the bunny.
small.
We went over to like a bunny slope or whatever, like the training slope. And I like was coming down the hill and I bit it and I was like, "You're a stupid fuck." This kid's right there, and I was like, "Eat a dick."
Welcome to adulthood.
Yeah, and another
Losers.
thing.
This is your future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm glad you had a good time. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
It's frustrating.
So this beer gets a 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Modelo
5
for
for
sure.
the
I'd
price.
say 4.2, dude. It's so drinkable and delicious, and it's
Yeah,
like
he gets it.
it's like it's
No.
perfect.
Sorry, it's not vegan.
No, I prefer fish guts in my beer for sure.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 4.5 on this guy.
I'll go 4.
I knew I would do the best.
Yeah. It's so good. Like it's a classic. It's done exactly how it's supposed to be. Flavor's amazing.
Consistent.
Yes, and body's great. Love it. It's wonderful.
Now, let me ask you this while we're going to the next one. Do you know, because Corey obviously know more about every beer than we do, do they have, like Budweiser, Coors, Modelo, do they have like a patent on that recipe and that's why it's like crushing?
Well, you can open source a few things. Like, most people understand what's in any of these. It's just that it's not desirable to necessarily replicate.
Keep doing it.
You can reverse engineer any of it, right? But craft brewers typically want to make their own.
Go different.
Right? But, I mean, we just had an episode with Woods Boss where Jordan was telling us that they basically reverse engineered Budweiser to make an exact replica of that using whatever ingredients they wanted, like locally sourced or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they were just trying to copy that for another option for their customers.
They reverse engineered the King.
I'm so sorry, who was this?
Woods Boss.
I want to try that.
Yeah, it's good. And they have it on all the time. It's their like house lager. But one thing that I did think was really cool that we learned on our Call to Arms episode is that are you making a farty face, or are you upset with me?
I think he's pooping. Are you okay?
You said you've had a bit of
making
since you've been here.
Could you say that into the mic?
No.
We'll fight.
I'm making boom. That's shit fucking.
That's Blumpkin, if I'm not mistaken.
Making boom.
But one thing that I thought was pretty cool was on our Call to Arms episode, we found out that Coors uses their own proprietary barley grain blend that they do not give out to other people.
And Rocky Mountain water.
Yeah. And the mountains are blue. Yeah, so they get it right from the mountains. It's
cold as the mountains.
Unfiltered. But I thought that was really cool, is that they use their own proprietary blend. And I'm a sucker for Banquet. Like I fucking love Banquet. Yeah. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I love Budweiser.
Banquet is a good beer.
Yeah, it's a really good beer.
Yeah, I love Coors.
Yeah, I mean, what's your guys' like go-to shitty, quote-unquote shitty beer? Coors, yeah. Banquet's the shit.
Yeah.
But Coors are
probably Bud.
Budweiser.
Bud, yeah.
Yeah, like Bud Heavy, right? Or over a Bud
like
Light.
a Bud Red Label.
Yeah,
I would choose Budweiser over Bud Light. I'll drink either Coors or Coors Light, but I will choose Banquet in the bottle.
but as the light beers go, I'll take Coors Light over Bud Light.
I remember being at a concert one time and I hadn't drinking Bud Light in a long time, and I drank 6 in the course of an hour.
You must have been really feeling it. This is Dave Matthews Band.
It was actually a Run the Jewels concert at Brooklyn Bowl. So I'm pretty cool sometimes.
You're not. Yeah. They told me. They're like, he's not.
I got wasted on Bud Light Lime at a Katy Perry concert once with my mom.
That sounds lovely.
I threw up in the parking garage.
That also sounds
it's nice to know that this concert.
If you're going to Katy Perry.
What?
If you're going to Katy Perry.
And you can hear me roar. You're gonna hear me roar.
She's not very good live. It's honestly a little disappointing.
She was on Warped Tour one year. She was a Warped Tour gal.
Really?
They were hanging on by a thread at that point, I think.
No, she's great.
No, it was one.
I love her, but I mean, just the pop music she does, I just feel like it's too. They fuck with it too much in the studio. Like, it's not that she's a bad singer, but there's just no way she's gonna be making like. The song Firework is just like it was like so popular, and it is just so like synthesized at parts that it's just like.
I mean, that's why it's fun about it. Like this, that's sugar. Like,
it's a great pop song, but it's like it is hard to do in real life. Yeah.
Baby, you're a firework. Come on, take me to work.
I'm gonna steal that. That's sugar.
That's sugar. It's sugar.
Yeah.
So, this next beer.
Tecate, which I haven't had a lot of because in the Northeast they just don't have this a lot of places. I think even though it's a big brand, they really only have it in the West and the South predominantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys don't.
You guys don't like Mexican lager in the...
I just don't think they distributed it up there. Like, there's just other brands that they have in regular distribution, and Tecate is not really one of them.
It tastes a little airier.
Airier for sure.
I think the name is better.
Which I like. I think it's good.
I'm actually going to shoot it with like a 3.5.
Not bad.
Less flavor, but
I feel like this is one of those beers I could belch and like some of it would come up though, like you know, like it's like got a little like the foam would still sit.
It does have like a Bud Light kind of quality to it,
Yeah.
where it's a little thinner.
Yeah.
Right. I think the Modelo has a little bit more like
Body.
consistency to it.
A little more
yeah,
fish gut to it.
Yeah, a lot more fish glands.
I like it. I think it's much more drinkable. I'd go 4 or 5.
Oh
Wow.
Whoa.
Look at you trying to save your shitty performance with this soup.
I thought it was good, and I looked it up, and it is also vegan friendly. So I'm gonna give
Enough
it a
with your
4.
politics.
Well, I'm just saying, just so people
Here's
know.
something political.
Yeah.
Next time you eat super breakfast, you can thank me.
Here's the key to a good
That's,
joke.
that's political. You think that's a political
oh,
thing?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. If you want to
dividing the country at this point.
you should run for alderman.
Way to run it back, buddy. Proud of you. All right, Nick, what are you giving this?
What did I say? 3.8?
3.8?
3.5.
On Tecate.
Tecate, and I say it's very, you could cook the sausage in it.
Yeah, Georgia, what'd you say what it was?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Well, you did.
I'm gonna give it a 4, and I want to change. I thought Los
Want to change?
I thought
Epic.
Los Locos was the best, and since I thought it was better, and I gave the Tecate a 4, I want to give them a 5.
Okay. We're going to
Change
retroactive.
it.
Wow.
5.
What is she doing? Why is she like this?
And in terms of like craft Mexican lager,
Like
it's the
what?
best one.
We don't like it
Like
at first,
what?
but
Like
grows
Jack,
on
What do you
all
mean
dumb
by
and shitty.
that?
that's
I'm giving Tecate a 3.
That boy
personally.
raised me.
Don't particularly love it, but
Oh, that's-
Nobody
fine.
raised me.
I know. You're fine.
All right. I'm going to tally some scores up. You guys talk
All
about your
right.
skills.
Now,
Yeah.
what's your favorite accoutrement for soup?
Crackers.
Crackers, duh.
Crackers. You just
I would say oyster
I'm from
crackers
Nebraska.
specifically.
Crackers.
I guess for chili, though, I use a tortilla.
cornbread.
I like
Cornbread.
Fritos and
It's so
chili.
rare.
That's
I'd
crazy.
never do that.
In chili?
And chili, absolutely.
I would,
I absolutely
but-
agree
Sure,
with
in
this.
chili, but I feel like mostly you would eat cornbread with barbecue, so just say they
No, like
put
a
cornbread in
jalapeno
soup.
cornbread?
Yeah.
Mm,
Your
Wild.
fault.
What about
Never.
soup, though?
Soup. You can do.
Not chili. What are you putting in soup?
Is chili not
Well,
a
like,
soup?
give me a soup because it's
It
also
is a
it's a
soup.
pairing thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Give me
the
a
chicken tortilla, you're gonna do those strips.
yeah.
Tortillas.
Tortilla.
Yeah.
The tortilla soup.
Tortilla. All right.
I like
Let's
oyster
get
crackers.
to
I like
it.
oyster crackers.
Daddy's
I like
got a
saltine.
nap.
I'll break
We're
them
going
up.
into it.
Yeah.
I like the ones that come in the individual packs, you know, but you never get enough.
I've seen people, and here's the thing: it's like I do have a limit, and super breakfast.
No one cares. I'm sorry.
I feel like you're gonna roll back right now.
I'm being so mean.
I'm not even gonna tell you.
I'm
When
not
you said
fucking
you're not a
upset
meme-
about this soup for breakfast thing. Really got under my
I'm
nerves.
not even gonna tell you what people do sometimes with their soups. They put goldfish in their soup. Yeah, some people do that. Now,
I
people
think
put-
that's
yeah,
okay.
There you go. Deal with
What are you
that.
talking
Think about
about?
that. Goldfish, like the cracker.
I
It's
think
a-
I think that would be okay for like a chicken noodle.
I don't agree with that.
I personally eat a tofu noodle. If you must know, Shane.
No one gives a fuck about your tofu noodle.
But you could put. I would put a faux goldfish in a tofu noodle.
That seems like an awful thing with another awful thing being added to it.
Why? I mean, honestly, the way science is.
Tofu noodle sucks.
The way science is, honestly, it all tastes about the same out of like a
It's
can.
not true.
That is so not true.
It is.
It's not. No one
It
thinks
is.
this is something you vegans
No,
say.
no, this is something that I just feel like.
I'm not even anti-vegan, but I do hate this argument.
I just feel like a lot of people wouldn't even notice if some things were vegan, but as soon as you say vegan, people are like, ew.
I mean, that might be true for an idiot, but I'm really
What are them fucking?
Did you get it totaled
Wow,
up?
you guys are really.
You get it totaled up?
Listen, we're done
You're
talking,
not
so
running
give us the
any.
answers.
This isn't the fucking quadratic equation. You're adding up numbers.
I
This is
am.
becoming a really hostile episode,
I didn't-
so...
yeah, I hit
And
him with
also
the same
very
chair.
anti-Latino, and as one, I don't like it.
I've liked all of the
You
Mexican
think it's
lagers,
anti-Latino?
Okay?
I mean, I don't think there hasn't been.
I gave one
Hey.
of these lagers a 5, and
Yeah.
you're saying that's anti?
I think
I went
That's
scuba
That's
diving.
anti-Latinx, is that what you're telling me? I gave it a fucking 5, Shane. What do you want?
I just wanted you guys to know that this is the first time Mexican beer has been talked about on this podcast, and it took, having a half Mexican headline.
I want
Like you
another-
listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I do. I listened to the
White
episode where you
girl
were like, you know what I love is I like to pick my nails and then use them to clean my teeth. That's really normal. A lot of people do that, and then you just vented that for an hour and a half.
Is that true, Steve?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was the predecessor to soup. It's how I
Yeah, that's how you got it out of your
That's how I fucking found out about soup for breakfast.
All right, everybody. At the moment everyone's been waiting for, we can get.
I think we know who's gonna win.
I
No,
hope
not
no
necessarily.
sauce.
It's actually a lot tighter than you might think. It
I
might
would,
be.
I guess it starts with an N and ends with
Modelo. But she threw a 5 at low, so
It's gonna be Modelo.
Well, in third place, we have Epic Brewing Company Los Locos at 18.9.
It's
Pretty
Modelo.
respectable, pretty respectable. And then second place, we have Tecate at 19.
classic.
And then in
Yeah.
first place, we
Modelo.
have the Tortilla Chip Lager.
You're a
That's
prick.
Modelo,
Oh, I was like, oh my God, who voted for that?
20.7?
20.7, so a full point and a full 0.7 points above the other. But respectable nonetheless.
okay.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I feel good about what's happened here today.
Me too. I really had fun.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal.
I'm pretty tired and a little
Today
drunk.
was
Yeah, I know that. I
You're
know.
like,
I know. We're
Well,
actually,
I had fun.
I do want to say that,
Thank
like, I'm
you.
just super glad that you guys came out.
Aw, you're sweet.
We did a show earlier tonight. Like, we've had everybody. It's been really awesome because comedy's starting to come back, and at least for now, right? And people are doing shows and stuff. George, I know you were super pumped that you've had a bunch of shows going on this weekend.
Full weekend this weekend. It was great.
And Nick, I know you've had some stuff going on locally too. And Steve and I have got some shows cooking in the next month and a half where if you check out all the social media stuff, Rotating Tap Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, we'll have all of our show announcements on there. And Shane, it's awesome to fucking have you in Colorado, man.
Thanks,
Like,
man.
I know you've been doing your thing in New York, but you're a fan favorite here
I do okay.
with us.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know. I'm
Right,
just
I
hyping
kinda
you
put
up
it on
a
my
little
They
bit.
might
opening
like
acts
you more if
tonight.
you had soup sometimes.
But
Early in the day.
I hope something bad happens to you.
I hope you spill your hot to-go soup in the
I
car.
choke on a soft-boiled egg when I'm eating soup.
It's
for breakfast.
crazy. It's like you're practicing to be an old sea captain already.
The hat? Oh my god, yeah. Spot on. Put the hat back on.
Ahoy, babies!
I lost my wife to the sea.
Yeah, I'll never eat solid food again. I only soup.
No, she didn't drown. She just left for a drier
She's
climate.
fucking the fucking sea.
Didn't know she had a drier climate because when we were, doing it. I'm tired.
There's your big ender. All right, so
Big ender.
Wow.
They call me. You're ass shaming me.
a big ender. Anything anybody wants to plug before we get out of here?
No, we're on the internet, so just find us.
You can find me on Instagram at George's Wild.
Yeah.
At Syrup Mountain on Instagram, ShaneIsAComedian.com. Look for tour dates and other kind of fun things.
Yeah.
Why is that?
If there's really any followers, please shoot on Steve for his soup.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let us
I
know what
don't
you think
think
about
I-
the soup.
Give us
Hey,
your hot
here's-
soup
okay,
takes.
I-
Or cold soup takes.
Or hey, if you're making breakfast soup, I
You're
guess
a
let us
fucking
know.
Fool.
Let them know.
Yeah, for a breakfast soup. I would like to know if there's a breakfast soup out
You
there.
know what? I apologize for letting you.
You can follow Steve at ladlebaby.com.
Man,
That's a way
that's
to
a pretty good.
Ladle baby.
Ladle baby's pretty good.
It's a pretty good.
I
way
feel
to-
like I might just call you Ladle Baby from here on out.
You also sound like
LB.
an expensive brand of cookware.
LB.
Mainly soups for breakfast is what they
Ladle
cook.
baby.
Yeah.
You're not part of this company, and I've already have the idea.
God damn it! I don't understand capitalism.
Spoons as soft as a baby's ass.
Yeah.
Rotating Tap will be at Flight Co for their 2-year anniversary.
Yeah. I got the
You're gonna
bandana.
do
March
with the dates.
3rd.
I
Okay,
like
good.
the beer.
You're gonna check your phone. You're just
I
spinning?
should check my phone. I don't have.
I'm
it
pretty
on.
sure it's March 3rd. You can check our website for more details, and we got a bunch of other shit coming up in the next month and a half. But thank you guys very much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Corey.
Corey.
Not Steve.
Wait.
Not Steve. Not
Ladle boy. Ladle
That's the new intro to the podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
You piece
Bye.
of shit.
Devilish eyes.
You're a piece of shit.
Jokes on you. That last one didn't record.
We got it on video.